Good morning. It's July 3rd. Here I am in Douglas Park looking through the fence at the track there. That's not where I'm going. The last time I was out this way last week, I followed the path over here and came to a bridge, which I did not take. And somebody said I should take that bridge because it would take me into their neighborhood. And I said, well, the next time I come to that bridge, I will cross it. So today, I'm crossing it. It's currently 23 degrees and getting warmer. So it's going to be a warm walk. Going to 33 today, which is cooler than yesterday when it was 36 or 37 or something like that. So yesterday it was high 90s. Today it'll be the low 90s, or right around 90 for the high. Morning. So I only have a vague idea of what the neighborhood will be like on the other side of here. This will take us over the ring road. You can hear the cars going by over here. So it's Saturday. Oh, is that Azelov? Yes, I think so. Hello. Saturday, which means it's for us grocery shopping day and all that later on. My brother and his wife were here last night visiting. We went out for dinner. Had a good time. So this takes us over the ring road down there, which, as the name implies, is kind of makes a ring around the city. Out there's the university back over that way. I've never walked over this bridge in my life, so it's interesting. You know, one thing over here is the cemetery, but I don't plan to walk through the cemetery. Over there is a cemetery, one of the cemeteries. Pleasant and green, but I think I will take a different route here. A lot of bicyclists crossing over in the other direction. We'll go this way. I honestly have no idea where I'm going, so this ought to be fun. I didn't even know what this building is. Oh, it's a church. Okay, there we go. It's a church. Cross is a dead giveaway. Regina Apostolic Church. That looks like an apartment building of some sort. Story Manor and Church. Visitor parking. It's a big church. I wonder if this is a This an apartment building or a senior's residence of some sort connected to the church? They seem very closely related here. But I really have no idea. Story Manor. All I know is I've managed to find myself in a parking lot. I hope there's a way out and I don't just wander around it for a while. I may have to go back the way I came, but I'm hoping there's one down to my left somewhere, some way out. It's got a wall or a fence as far as the eye can see. I don't think I can get out down there. All right, we'll go back the way we came then. Oh yeah, big church. Didn't really intend to do a tour around it, but there you go. Apartments over here are condos. Cemetery across the street. And a squirrel. There are often squirrels. Apparently thinks I'm chasing him. Well, don't run out in traffic. That's no way to live a long squirrel life. All right, well, guess we have to go down further before I can do my usual zigzag pattern. Maybe I should have walked in the cemetery. At least it's green and quiet. I'll have to come back this way because I have to take that bridge to get back to the car. I think this is Assiniboine Avenue, I think is what this street is, if I remember right. There's more of a footpath on the other side up there, it looks like. But I would still rather go down into the neighborhood to the left, if I can get in there, at this next road. Could take the alley. Well, let's take the alley. I'm sure it goes through down there. It's a bit of shade on this side too. Hello, Miriam. Just saying when I started, it was 23, probably 24 by now, going to 33 today, which is about 6 degrees cooler than yesterday. No, 4 degrees cooler than yesterday. Then it's starting to cool off. By Tuesday, it's supposed to only be 20 and possibly some rain, so that'll be nice. And then it's more like in the high 20s, which is more warm, but not hot. We didn't really get quite the extreme heat that was to the west of us. Yesterday was our warmest day at 36, I think. Gee, I hope this isn't a dead end. I thought the alley would have to go through both ends, but I can't quite tell if that's true or not. There are always dogs who object to your presence when you walk down alleys. That looks like it just goes into somebody's backyard. There's probably some sort of space to the left. Oh, all right, we'll go this way. Mosquito Central is what I'm worried about. mulch here and more grass. Well, I didn't expect to get stuck in a dead end. I've got grass, sand here, like somebody's sandbox. Well, this is interesting. Completely unexpected. I am trapped, trapped, trapped. I mean, there's way out down here, but I don't know where I go from there. So we'll find out in a minute. I'm going to keep an eye out for nettles and that's the ring road again up in front of us, so this is what I'm walking through here. Stuck in the grass, the long grass. Okay, well, I keep going that way, but I'm not sure anything's gonna get any better. There ought to be a road I can get on somewhere. That's the ring road there. Douglas Park is just the other side, and the car where I left it. Oh good, nettles. So these are what I'm trying to avoid. They have prickles. I get the feeling I'm kind of in this sunk cost thing where I've come so far, I don't want to turn back, but there may not be anything better ahead of me. Well, I'll keep moving. I gotta come somewhere somehow. I'll come out somewhere. These mosquitoes aren't really attacking me. I doubt people walk along here very often. There's a bit of a path, like people have ridden bikes along here. You can kind of see a depression in the long grass here. Is that? Hi, Dave Dude. Well, apparently my kind of bluebird flies over that bridge. That's what I did. But this isn't Oz, although I do have a feeling I'm not in Kansas anymore. Trapped out here in the weeds, literally. Stuck in the weeds. With the ring road going by right there. I don't know how long I'll have to walk along here before I find a way out. Who's that? Oh. I mean, eventually there has to be a cross street or an alley or something I can get into. Oh well, it's More like a walk in the countryside today. See? Nothing but walls down there behind people's houses. Trying to avoid nettles and not fall over anything. That's kind of my goal here. Do I have to go all the way to Arcola Avenue? Looks like I do. Well, I hope you're enjoying this walk. I'll never do this one again. Not like this. There is just a very slight depression in the grass, which makes me think bicycles have come this way. But there's literally, I mean, I could walk down there closer to people's, probably walk down closer to the fence if I wanted to. They're weeds, but they're also kind of wildflowers. All right, well, it's steeper down here. Now, do I want to stay up there? Doesn't look like it. I think I want to get down closer to the fence. Hard to say. Maybe I'm better off up here. Better off on the other side of these bushes, actually, I think. Walking closer to the ring road. Maybe up ahead there'll be a way out. Watch out for gopher holes too. If I break my leg, you'll have to shoot me. I'm actually surprised the mosquitoes haven't been bothering me as much. And I'm seeing little baby grasshoppers as I walk along here. I think that's what they are. There we go. Somewhat less oppressive weed cover. So all this is a berm between the ring road and the houses over here. Mosquitoes are actually very bad, but they're not bothering me too much here. I had a hard time reading. The screen dimmed when I got into the shade, so just when it should have been easier to read, the screen decided, oh, it's so dark, you don't need to be this bright anymore. All the fresh growth on the spruce here, the paler green popping out, that's all stuff that's growing this year. So they're still growing like crazy. Sooner or later, I might have to walk all the way up to the Arcola exit, but I will get out of this stuff. I should have turned back when I first saw what was going on. Probably should be wearing long pants too. I'll have to keep an eye out for ticks too. Check for ticks when I'm done here. If I'm ever done here, and I'm not stuck here for the rest of the day, trying to find my way out. You know, somebody's probably home, but it's very tempting to go through their backyard, but I won't. There's no fence, and I could actually get to the but I won't. That's trespassing, that is. Yeah, so I should say the mosquitoes are actually quite bad, but for some reason I haven't really encountered too many on this walk, which I fully would have expected to. Oh, well, I guess we're going right down by the fence now. Where people have garbage has collected, probably off of the road as much as anywhere. My legs are going to be scratched after this walk. Now there's trees. All kinds of trees. And thistles again. There's some mosquitoes. I think I'm better off if I go down in the ditch by the ring road there. A bit more open, less grassy. And here's the off-ramp to Arcola, so somewhere up here I'll finally get out of this mess. Oh. Arcola is a main street. Well, not at all what I anticipated for this walk. At least I hope it's interesting. Very uneven ground. I got to keep an eye out on here too. So up here we will follow the off-ramp up. And then we'll start to work our way back through some actual neighborhoods. You can see all the grasshoppers jumping out of the grass, just little ones. Yeah, look at them all. Oh, yay. At least a bit of a break from wading through the grass here. Okay, now we have to climb up here to get to the Arcola. I don't know how far I'll have to go still to get out of this mess. I don't want to get too close to the road. Winnipeg. If you were going to Winnipeg, you wouldn't take this road. This one takes you to Francis, which is a town down that I used to go to when I was a reporter at the Weyburn Review. We covered stuff in Francis. Also down here is Sedley. And what I remember about Sedley is that's where I went to cover Prince Philip's visit, one of the royal visits. Prince Philip went out to Sedley because there's is or was a colony of burrowing owls, which is a endangered species. And so he went out there to show his support, and we came out from Weyburn to cover it, and of course there were all kinds of reporters at that one. I mostly remember how rude the CBC reporters were, or the cameramen were, because, you know, like we're CBC, you plebes from these other newspapers should just get out of our way. We plebes from the other newspapers did not take kindly to that. An eye open up there, but there wouldn't be anything going through the fences here, I don't think. So hey, we'll walk under the highway sign. Never done that before. The funny thing is, there's tracks here. Like, there's been a car down here sometime. Somebody that ran off the road, maybe. Let's go up a little higher now. Actually, I won't walk under there because there's less grass up here. Yeah, that's better. Also a little shade. I can't read anything on the screen though if you're making comments. Whenever I find a road, then I'll start walking back towards the bridge, because I've certainly gone far enough along here now for my liking. Now this has all been mowed up here. Not sure why, but it's clearly been kept, the weeds have been kept down. Right then, how far do I have to go along here before I find a way in? Possibly to the first cross street, which is still a ways up here. Oh, wait, I see a path. There is hope. We will emerge from the wilderness. It hasn't quite been 40 years, but it felt like it. And that's actually part of the proper path. So you could take that path from the other side. Interesting. All right. Dogs really hate it when you walk by their back fence. Can't see a thing on the screen, sorry. Anybody is saying hello or anything else? Now walking directly into the sun. Alrighty, a path. I am pleased to find a path, which came from up there, over that overpass. And I actually still got a long ways to go this way before I can start working my way back, it looks like. Oh well. As soon as I find a street to my right, which is to the south, then I'll begin the return leg. So just fences and the backs of houses in this line of trees. Again, every tree in Regina was planted by somebody. I just saw a figure today, apparently 500,000 trees in Regina. and every single one of them planted by somebody, except for a handful that have grown up naturally because there's now trees around. Like we have a, I always think of caraganas as a bush, but they kind of turn into trees given the opportunity, and we have one in our backyard that grew up entirely on its own. So it wasn't planted by anybody. It sprang from, oh look, it's a street. It's a street I can take. All right. I am pleased to have emerged from the wilderness now into civilization. Road closed ahead. Well, I'm not driving, so that's no big deal. Song running through my head today is from In the Heights, which we went to last weekend, I guess. In a musical we know well because we often listen to the Broadway recording on road trips. One of our favorites. Love to see it on stage. The movie was okay, but I'd rather see it on stage sometime. Or I'd like to see it on stage in addition to having seen it. We did see Hamilton in Broadway a couple of years ago. Managed to get tickets while we were there visiting my editor and publisher just after Christmas. We saw Hamilton, we saw Dear Evan Hansen, went to Radio City Music Hall, saw the Nutcracker at the New York City Ballet. It was a great trip. Anyway, the song in my head is Vanessa's song, which is certainly nothing I'll ever sing. The elevated train drives everyone insane, but I don't mind, no. That's part of it. Apparently they are completely repaving this bit of road. Now, do I go a little further west? I mean east before I go back west? Oh, I think so. Just because there's a bit of a park space down here, it looks like. That'll be my furthest east directions. What are these directions you speak of? To cross this, I just want to cross somewhere where there's no obvious oil. Another church with a log cabin look. Interesting. Looking for a sign to tell me what church it is. Oh, there we go. Discovery Baptist Church. Well, it's a very interesting decision to make it out of logs. So we passed back here. Oh, it goes back further than I thought. Like, has a wing here. Oh, what are they playing down there? Is it cricket again? I keep stumbling on cricket matches as I walk. Discovery Baptist Church. Pastor, oh, okay. Korean Worry Baptist Church. Oh, that's interesting. There's a path here. We'll take it into the park. I get some shade, maybe I can see if anybody said anything, but right now the screen is essentially blank for me. Let me see here, a little bit of shade. Sing and walk. It could be. It could be. Oh, good. You're following along on GPS, then you know where I am. I only have a vague idea. Certainly doesn't look like soccer. Oh yeah, it's soccer. I see the ball. I didn't see the ball before. I won't go that way because, or will I? No, we'll go over here and get on the street. I'm not lost. Just don't know exactly where I am. Not the same thing. I'm south of Arcola, north of Assiniboine. Now heading back south toward Assiniboine, which is the street that takes me back over the bridge to my car. I'll start zigzagging now and see how that works out for us. Well, for me, I don't suppose it matters to you. Me wandering around lost might be more interesting than me knowing where I'm going. I don't know. When I said we're going to zigzag, I now get an extremely long straight road with no cross streets. This neighborhood, I would guess, is late 60s or sometime into the 70s with the architecture, the houses. Maybe 80s. Feels 70s to me. Brady Bunch territory. Housewife. Bewitched, that'd be the 60s. Always wanted to live in a house like this and never did. Because we always lived in slightly odd places. Closest we came was a house at 306 North Armstrong in Tulia, Texas. It's still there if you want to look it up. Little red house. The landlord, we rented it. The landlord lived next door in a much nicer house. I thought it was a huge house, but it wasn't. It was bigger than ours, though. So when I take a Google Maps and Google Street View and go down there, I still recognize everything. But Tulia, Texas is a small town and hasn't changed a lot over the years. Cotton town. Speed bump, I'll have to slow down. I think there's a cross street up here. Probably goes down by that school. Nice neighborhood. I don't know what the proper name of it is. Well, the houses have, a little more interest to them, like the arch on that one is kind of interesting. As I always say, it's summer when you see boats on the street or in people's driveways. Well, they might sit there all winter in some cases, covered up, but especially when you see them on the street, you can figure it's a sign of summer. Okay, we are at trying to read the sign over there. Wayfield, right? Wayfield it is. No, Mayfield, not Mayfield. Mayfield Road. Green Meadow Road. I walked through enough green meadows when I was trapped out there. Nevertheless, I will take to the left because that's what I'm doing, is zigzagging. Here's the school. Don't know what it is. We'll see in a minute. Wilford Hunt. Wilford Hunt School. Don't know who Wilford Hunt was, but there's the school they named after. All right, we will go to our left. We continue to zigzag south and east, west. There's a classic style of 60s, 70s suburban house. These are the neighborhoods all the sitcoms took place in when I was growing up. Not that I saw a lot of them because we didn't have a TV for a few years. Nice one over there in the corner. Has nice flowers out in front of it. It's a brick house. You don't see as many brick houses as you might think you would see. I don't know why. In Saskatchewan, or in Regina anyway. Oh, we can take this path. It goes somewhere. Probably the same southern end of the park I was in at the other end. That's what it is, I would think. Oh, a lot more, yeah, because that's the playground I saw that I didn't go over to, but the park continues here. Cool. Like I say, I like to walk on gravel paths because I like the crunch my feet make. Makes you sound like you're moving faster when you hear that crunch. So lots of people's houses back onto this park, which is really nice for them. Always nice to have green space close by. No kids out playing football or anything like that, though. It is Saturday morning. Some people are still just waking up. And I still can't read the screen very easily. Sorry about that. The screen dimmed and never brightened up again. And I'm reluctant to play with the screen because that has interrupted my feed from time to time. Interesting fence. Let's get back the way we came. Okay, back to a street, a proper street. Winfield Gate GT. Don't know if that'll go through or not. If it'll just take me around. Well, we'll try it. It curves in the right direction. Hopefully it's not another dead end. Midwest Surveys, I wrote trying to get the title. It's escaped me for the moment. But I wrote the history of the Saskatchewan Land Surveyors Association a few years ago. And it was called, I can't remember. That's sad. The history I wrote of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan was called A Safe and Prosperous Future. And the one of the surveyors was called, that's unusual for me to forget a title of a book, especially one I wrote. Oh well, you can look it up. Well, it's still taking me in the right direction. And I'm sorry, still can't read a thing on the screen. So talk amongst yourselves. Uh-oh. This is going to loop me back in the wrong direction. All right, well, I gotta go where the road goes. I can hear the ring road, which means I'm not too far from the bridge, but I can't get there from here. As I know from wandering on the wrong side of the fence over there. Oh, maybe I can read something now. It's a little darker here. Let me see if I can make anything out. I really can't read. Sorry. So, and I won't see these after. I might be able to go through them once I get back somewhere more consistently dark. So, anybody who's on YouTube, chat with each other as I continue to try to find my way out of here. There's the ring road to my left. I can hear it. So clearly I needed to stick to a little further, going a little further east before I tried to come down here. Okay. Live and learn. I usually take longer walks on Saturdays anyway. I had one short one this week that was only 48 minutes, so this will make up for that at the rate it's going. Yeah, the screen is just blank to my eyes right now. Almost. It's hard enough, even in good light, since I don't have reading glasses with me, which I actually need to read small text. And I have to work to decipher it sometimes, even in ideal conditions, which these are not. But I hope you're enjoying the walk, even if I'm not responding in a timely fashion. I may just have to go west till I get to a more major east, till I get to a more major road. Yeah, this is just taking me around in a circle. Well, not a circle. Oh well. As I said, I came over here because somebody saw the bridge on the previous video and said, oh, if you cross that, you'll be in my old neighborhood. So I hope that person knows I'm now walking in their old neighborhood and appreciate the effort, because it is an effort. Okay. It's the kind of quiet neighborhood you can walk down the middle of the street without too much worry. We will stick to Wayfield Road and not take any more shortcuts to the right. Let's see if I can read anything here in the shadow. Oh, I see there's somebody new there. I can't quite make out the name, but welcome. General Critus. General. Well, General, you honor me with your presence. Yes, so I just did a big loop and gave you a thorough tour of Winfield, whatever the GT stands for. Or Mayfield, I guess. Well, that was definitely added a unnecessary addition to the length of the walk. Ah, puddle. There's a maiden road up here that'll definitely take us to Assiniboine, so I'm on my way now. Oh, actually, I think this is Assiniboine up here, because that's the cemetery on the other side. So the curving around has finally brought me back where I wanted to be, with just a, well, I guess it was Winfield, just a slight detour. Now I know where I am. Well, if I come over here again, I will not take the walk along the ring road through the long grass. Been there, done that. Might have been worse in the snow, I suppose. I wouldn't even think of doing it in snow. So once I get home, the air conditioning will feel good. I'll cool off. That'll be nice. There's the whole family crossing the road. Always reminds me of the geese crossing the road with their little ones, which you see this time of year as well. Okay, so that's one of the cemeteries over there. Here's Assiniboine, like I said. And there's the bridge right up there. So after all that wandering, I'm actually quite close to the end here. Because that's where I made the mistake of going down there thinking the alley would go through. Ended up in the path between the fences, couldn't get in, and ended up stuck in the grass alongside the ring road with no way through the fences until I'd walked all the way down to Arcola. Condos or apartment building, I don't know which. Probably condos from the look of it. Wascana Manor. Oof. And there's the big apostolic church again. That was my mistake. To begin with, I should have come right down here to the road we just came up to do what I really was picturing this walk as being like. But it's more of an adventure this way. Regina Apostolic Church. There's Roberts Plaza sticking up over there. I've walked by it a couple of times now on walks. Of course, just across the bridge is Douglas Park, where I started. I could also, of course, have gone right onto Park Street instead of going left. So there are many options. The next time I come this way, I will not make the same mistake. I don't know how far Park Street goes. Well, they're taking a walk in the cemetery. Yeah, Park Street doesn't go anywhere that direction. That's probably why I didn't take it. Here's the ring road again. There's the University of Regina over there. Walked around it a few times. That's First Nations University, the low building there. The interesting curves. First Nations University of Canada. Walked around it a couple of times too, and will again. Plains over there. Now SciAst. Used to be the Plains Health Center. Used to be a hospital, but now it's part of SciAst. And back into Douglas Park. Where, if I can, before I turn this off, I'll see if I can read some of the comments, if there's anything I need to answer. This is all Douglas Park over here. don't actually have a clue how long this has been either. I can't see the timer either. Can't see a thing on the screen. I see my car over there though, so that's good. There's a patch of shade up here, so maybe if I go in there I can make out any comments that I have not yet seen. The live stream comments vanish. At least they do in the way I look at it. Maybe they're still there for some people, but I've never seen them again after I do one of these. Okay, here's some nice shade. We'll just pop in here for a second. I'll see what I can see. As my eyes adjust a little bit. How's the weather here today, Theodore? It was 23 when I set out. It's going to 33. It was 36 yesterday, or 37, so that's about the hottest we've had. But it cools off now. It'll be down in the 20s as the week goes along. And there's some rain in the forecast too, so that's good. Nothing like it was out in BC where they set new Canadian records under this heat dome. 49 something in Lytton, the town that then burned down. Quite apocalyptic for them. Okay, that's it. We're back at the car. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow. Don't know where I'll walk, but I do know it won't be along the ring road through the long grass. I'm quite sure of that. Okay, bye for now.